Hello guys, welcome to the movie recap review. Happy watching.
What do you mean, sweetie? I can feel the gravity. I can feel the rotation of the earth. I need to talk to you alone.
And I need you to put your hands up, please.
The movie starts with a cell dividing into many more cells. Then, we see a chimpanzee in prehistoric times drinking from a lake. Lucy explains that life began billions of years ago and wonders what we've done with it since. In the present, Lucy is outside a hotel in Taiwan with her boyfriend Richard, whom she's only been dating for a week. He asks her to take a briefcase up to a man named Mr. Zhang. Lucy refuses unless he tells her what's inside. In response, Richard handcuffs the briefcase to her wrist, leaving her no choice. She goes into the hotel and tells the front desk that she's there to see Mr. Zhang. While she's waiting, she sees Richard outside trying to reassure her, until he's suddenly shot and killed. A group of armed men force Lucy into an elevator. This scene is shown alongside footage of a cheetah hunting and killing a gazelle. Lucy is taken to Zhang's apartment, where she sees bloody bodies on the floor and throws up. Zhang appears, his hands covered in blood, and calls someone to translate. Lucy is terrified and confused. Zhang writes a code for the briefcase and leaves the room while his men get weapons ready. Lucy opens the briefcase, which contains 4 bags of a blue powder. Zhang returns with a man who snorts the powder. The man laughs wildly, then Zhang shoots him. Lucy is told she has to do a job, and when she refuses, one of the men hits her. Lucy wakes up in a hotel room with a bandage on her stomach. Zhang's men come in and throw clothes at her. She and 3 other men are taken to see Zhang. A British man, known as the Limey, explains that they all had a drug called CPH4 surgically placed in their intestines. It's a new, powerful drug they plan to smuggle around the world. Later, Lucy is chained up in a room. One of the thugs kicks her in the stomach, hitting the spot where the drug was put in. The impact tears the drug bag inside her, and the blue powder leaks into her system. Lucy starts convulsing and floating around the room until she collapses. Meanwhile, Professor Samuel Norman is giving a lecture about the brain's potential. He explains that humans only use about 10% of their brain, but if they could use more, like 40%, they might be able to control matter. If someone could reach 100%, he says, he has no idea what might happen. Lucy wakes up again, this time with glowing blue eyes. She's much calmer now. When a thug enters the room, she pretends to seduce him. As he gets close, she suddenly flips him over and grabs his gun. She frees herself, then shoots the other thugs. Even though she gets shot in the shoulder, she calmly removes the bullet without feeling pain. Before leaving, she eats all their food. Outside, she finds 2 men and forces one to take her to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, Lucy starts to hear people's voices from outside the car. When she arrives, she can read all the signs clearly, even though they're in a different language. It all makes sense to her now. She walks into an operating room where doctors are working on a man. Lucy looks at his scans, then suddenly shoots him. She tells the doctors he couldn't have been saved because the tumor in his brain had already spread too far. Then she forces them to remove the drug bag from her stomach. While waiting, she calls her mother. Lucy says she can feel everything: the air, her blood flowing, even heat leaving her body. She describes vivid memories from her entire life, including moments from when she was just a baby. She tells her mother she loves her and hangs up. The doctors remove the bag, and one of them is shocked she's still alive. He explains that CPH4 is a powerful substance made naturally by pregnant women 6 weeks into pregnancy, but in very small amounts. What Lucy has inside her is much more than the body can normally handle. Lucy then returns to the hotel, where Zhang is getting a tattoo and facial. She kills his guards, tells the tattoo artist to leave, and then stabs knives into both of Zhang's hands. Using her powers, she reads his mind and sees where the other drug mules are headed by viewing their plane tickets. She walks out as Zhang screams in pain. Next, Lucy visits her friend Caroline's apartment and uses her laptop. She reads all of Professor Norman's research in seconds. Then she calls him to talk. He's shocked that she read everything so fast. Lucy tells him she's now using 20% of her brain and explains how it's affecting her. She even appears through the electronics in his hotel room, on the TV, his phone, and the radio. She tells him she'll meet him in 12 hours. Before leaving, Lucy prints out a prescription for Caroline and tells her liver and kidneys are failing. She advises Caroline to make better health choices so she can recover. News has spread about Lucy shooting the man at the hospital, so when she heads to the airport, she changes her hair color and style to avoid being recognized. She calls a French police officer, Captain Pierre Del Rio, and tells him where the other drug mules are. On the plane, Lucy types quickly on her laptop, continuing her research about the brain. A flight attendant tells her to turn it off, but she calmly asks for a glass of champagne. Without looking, she also tells the flight attendant to wipe her nose, right as the woman's nose starts bleeding. When Lucy gets the glass, she raises it and says, "To knowledge," before taking a sip. The screen flashes 40%. Suddenly, she finds a tooth in the glass and spits out 3 more. Her skin starts breaking down in front of everyone. She rushes to the bathroom, where her fingers and face begin to vanish. She takes out the rest of the CPH4 and snorts it, which brings her body back to normal. But she passes out. Lucy wakes up in a hospital room with Del Rio, doctors, and police officers around her. They've caught the other drug mules. As she sits up, a nurse gasps in shock. Meanwhile, Zhang's henchman Ji arrives with more armed men. They find the mules and kill them to cut the drugs out of their bodies. Lucy walks out of her room and is surrounded by the gunmen. But with a flick of her fingers, she puts them all to sleep. Except for Del Rio. Together, they go after Ji and his men. Now using 60% of her brain, Lucy controls the hallway, stopping Ji from escaping by creating an invisible wall. She grabs the drugs and prepares to leave, but tells Del Rio to come with her. He says he's useless, but Lucy kisses him and asks him to come as a reminder. Lucy uses her powers to find a new location and takes over Del Rio's car, driving wildly through the city. She admits she's never driven before. Zhang and Ji follow them. Lucy and Del Rio arrive at a university where they meet Professor Norman and his team. Lucy begins to explain everything she's learned as her brain power continues to grow beyond normal human limits. Meanwhile, Zhang and his men break into the building and start shooting. Lucy gives the rest of the CPH4 to the scientists, who turn it into a liquid that's injected into her bloodstream. Her brain function reaches 70%, and her hands begin to turn into a black, goo-like substance that connects to the computers. This gives her even more energy and power. As her brain power keeps growing, Lucy manipulates matter to erase the room around them, leaving Norman and his colleagues standing in a white void. Then she creates a strange, advanced-looking supercomputer before their eyes. Outside, police shoot Zhang's men. Zhang tells Ji to act, and Ji uses a rocket launcher to blow up the lab. The explosion sends Lucy flying across time and space. She ends up in Times Square, then starts moving backward through time. She goes from modern-day New York to the early 1900s, then colonial times, and finally prehistoric Earth. She meets the chimp from the beginning of the film, and when they touch fingers, Lucy is sent through the entire universe, gaining infinite knowledge and power. Back in the lab, Zhang enters and aims his gun at Lucy, but just as he fires, she vanishes. Her body is gone, and only her clothes remain. Del Rio arrives and shoots Zhang dead. The black goo disappears and turns into a flash drive, which lands in Norman's hands, containing all of Lucy's knowledge and completing his research. Del Rio looks around and asks where Lucy is. His phone lights up with a message: "I am everywhere." The movie ends with a shot of Zhang's body on the floor and Lucy's voice saying, "This is what can be done with life."
And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.